Well, howdy, folks. This is me, Bert Lee. If you're looking at the thumbnail, you notice that I had really short hair for that thumbnail. That was from about 6 years ago. I was doing an acting role where I had to be kind of straight like a lawyer or a detective, and that's the haircut they gave me. Subsequently, as you can see, I've gotten wild. My hair is just a crazy mass of fibers hanging from my head, and I haven't been doing any live streams for a while, so I decided today to do it very impromptu. I really don't expect anyone to jump on this boat right now. Many of you may discover that it happened today and play it back later on, tonight when you're free. Most of you are working, I know. But if you are here and you feel like saying hi, you just drop a hello in the chat line there, and I'll just keep on playing. All I'm doing here is giving you a chance to eavesdrop on a practice session, and by that I mean, what I do in the afternoon when I feel like taking out the guitar and going over a few songs. So it's not going to be really long, but you might find it entertaining. I have been practicing a lot recently, so you'll hear my chops at their best, and I hope my voice sounds good to you. And if there's any problems at all, like you can't hear anything, well, I'll from time to time step over there, and look and see what I can do to fix it. But meanwhile, I'm not going to concern myself too much with that, and I'm going to start with this tune. Morning comes to touch the sky and to wake the sleeping world, to hang the dew upon the blades of grass like strings of pearls. I rise up from my sleep to find you laying by my side, clinging to your last of dreams and breathing like the tide. I won't wake you, I'll just wait and hold you in my eyes, peaceful as a ship of clouds that sails the crystal skies. I'll go and put the kettle on just to make our morning brew. If you were the first to rise, I know that's what you do. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when, since you came into my life, it's all been new again. All those years I spent alone, just watching time slip by, filling up with emptiness and taking love to be alive, filling pages up with words, oh, just to make my broken song, never knowing you were somewhere waiting all along. Now there's never been a sweeter day, my lover and my friend, since you came into my life, it's all been new again. comes to touch the hills and to wake the sleeping rose, throwing diamonds on the river so it flashes as it flows. This world is lovely, it can't be denied, you know that's true. Twice as lovely with two pairs of eyes to see it through. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when, since you came into my life, it's all been new again. Okay, that was a New Again tune I wrote about 6 years ago. Give me just one moment. I'm going to step over to the computer and make sure that all of that's going in just right. Like I said, I'm not taking this all too seriously. This is just a practice session. I find very often doing something with a light heart gets you a better result than being too overly focused on things. And so I'm just doing some new tunes and old tunes here. And looks like I don't have any listeners yet, but I'm not surprised. I just decided to do this 10 minutes ago. I'm here in Brooklyn, Gravesend, Brooklyn, where I live with my beautiful wife, Josephine. Those of you that know us know that we're very happy. We have tough times on our plate, but we dine in splendor, is all I can say. This is an older tune. This goes all the way back to the Central Park Sheiks, the Eastern Kings of Western Swing, a band that I was so proud to serve in back in the 1970s. And this tune was one of the country songs I wrote for that band. We were mostly known for playing a weird mixture of songs. We related a lot to people that liked country swing and cowboy jazz music, but I would toss in these more or less straightforward country songs and occasional pop songs as well, because I don't like to get stuck in any genre, as you probably will figure out if you're just catching me for the first time. The people that do enjoy my music seem to enjoy that about my music, and I enjoy that about my music, and I'm really kind of in this for myself, so if you do enjoy it, that makes me happy. So anyway, this tune is called The Blackbird and the Scarecrow, and it goes an awful lot like this. Blackbird sitting on a fence post, laughing like he knows some kind of joke. I fail to see what's so funny. My whole world just went up in smoke. Won't you let me in on the joke? Scarecrow dancing in a cornfield, dancing while the wind blows him around. Sometimes I feel like that scarecrow, watching over my dry patch of ground, while the wind blows me around. There's a strange kind of music that hangs in the trees, like a calliope gone out of tune. And those crows sing a song that's all busted and wrong by the cold light of the old crooked moon. They sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz. Blackbird flies over to the Scarecrow. It doesn't scare him a bit, just sits on his shoulder to mock him, and then laughs at his own senseless wit. That Scarecrow doesn't scare him a bit. Blackbird, fly away from my shoulder. Blues, fly away from my heart. I've had this shadow upon me, oh little darling, since we've been apart. Oh, blues, fly away from my heart. There's a strange melody that hangs in the breeze, like a calliope gone out of tune. And those crows sing a song that's all busted and wrong by the cold light of the old crooked moon. They sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz. That's the honky-tonk waltz. Alright, I'm gonna speed things up a little bit now. This is a ragtime kind of tune. What you do, hope you enjoy. Wrote and actually started writing this song back in the 80s, and I didn't know it was going to take me into a territory that actually I've dwelled in for the last 7 or 8 years of writing about the history of my family. I just grabbed my grandfather's very interesting story and elaborated upon it for the first verse of the song. But that's just the first verse of the song. After that, the song collapses into a musing of the socio-economic zeitgeist. And it's a ragtime kind of thing. I think I probably already said that. And one more second while I double check my sound levels. Easy going, easy cheesy, chilla breezy. Most important thing I've discovered about doing these things is to take them seriously enough to make them good, but not worry about missed beats or finger flubs on the guitar, because it's just practice. It's all it is. And, if you pay me for my practice, you can see how it's done. You just go, I think, up there, there it is. It's up there. And you follow the directions, and that's how you can tip me, if you care. But you don't have to. You can. I appreciate every little penny helps these days, as I am in need of money for medical treatments. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. I'm fine, by the way. I mean, it's just, an ongoing thing that I have to deal with one way or another. And, my grandpa was a grifter, a gambler and a heel. He snuck around from town to town and dealt a dirty deal. He went out in the wild world to steal what he could steal. You know he stole a fortune, oh, but the money wasn't real. No, the money wasn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money wasn't real. He set out as a bandit, he came back empty-handed. He could have been a rich man, but the money wasn't real. Now the Pharaoh was a miser and his story has been told. He had 10,000 workers build a pyramid to hold all his statues and his trappings and his caskets and his gold. He wanted to have everything, but all he got was old, 'cause none of it was real. Funny how it is, you know now, none of it was real. His monument so grand just got covered up by sand, and now he's just another mummy, man, 'cause none of it was real. A poor man buys a loaf of bread and he shares it and it's gone. A rich man wrecks his portion, yet his wealth keeps rolling on. And the good things that you've said and done are nothing you can pawn. 'Cause when you're in the underclass, you're always overdrawn, 'cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can follow all the rules made by idiots for fools. You think you'll get your just reward, but you won't. Oh, you won't pick up a penny, or you might spare a dime. A dollar buys a pretty meager way to waste your time. A C note gets you groceries, and a grand might buy a thrill. You might rake in a shitload and still not get your fill. I live in America, a country built on greed, and I suppose that's not a bad thing if you just take what you need. But it seems everyone's afflicted by a hunger to exceed. Why should one man have a billion when there's a million mouths to feed? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can burn it, you can earn it, oh, but in the end you'll learn it all amounts to nothing. Yes, it's funny how it all amounts to nothing. So funny how it all amounts to nothing, 'cause the money isn't. And that's The Money Isn't Real. Moving right along now. As I say, that first verse there was about my grandfather, and I wrote a number of books about my family. And I started out by telling the tale, or the joined tales, of my two grandfathers, who knew each other incidentally before they even started families of their own. And they both had really interesting lives. And my Patrick grandfather, probably the more interesting of the two, came to America during the Civil War at the age of 12. And my other one, he toured around the territories with a violin, teaching young women how to play the violin, a fashionable thing to do. And he never worked in the same town twice or for the same family twice. He would always take a nice long interval before even thinking about returning to that town, for the reason that he didn't want to be hung. And he left a trail of half-relatives of mine all over the country in the course of that adventure. Anyway, so I wrote this song by combining their both life stories together into this one song called The Cowboy from Boston. And it was when I wrote this song, which is right at the turn of this century, that I realized the destiny that I had before me to write more about all of these interesting people. So I do hope you enjoy The Cowboy from Boston. played an old fiddle made over in Europe, recited the poets and quoted the bards, rode out of the East on a sway Appaloosa, the cowboy from Boston with a sleeve full of cards, with a hey diddle ho riding high in the saddle, a pearl handle pistol and a master's degree. Come 3,000 miles to the streets of Seattle to wet his fine whistle on some fresh Chinese tea. East Coast goes west to meet Far East, you see. A good man or bad depends on just who is talking. He bluffed like a champion or he lied like a snake. The ladies all swooned when he twirled his mustaches, and they snuck out the back door to bring him some cake. With a hey diddle ho riding over the prairie, fancy pants holster, real silver spurs. The music he fiddled was so fine and airy, looking up in the sky, he could name all the stars. He knew all his history and the generals and wars. He rode down the coast to the West Texas border, to the Mexican desert where the summer was fierce. He got all caught up in the good revolution. He fought at the side of an old man named Bierce. With a Viva Zapata he gave a loud holler, his gentleman's clothing all spattered with mud. He shot like a bandit, but he talked like a scholar. The cowboy from Boston, all hell-bent for blood. The cowboy from Boston won't come to no good. Not far from Houston, he stopped a stray bullet, and the last words he said lifted right off the page. It was something he'd learned from the poet of Avon, how all men are players and life is a stage. With a Viva la vida, that was how fate had planned it. There's no one can say once that hand rolled the bones. He talked like a scholar, but he shot like a bandit. The cowboy from Boston laying under some stones. The cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. The cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. So that was a little practice session for you of just a few songs that you might have enjoyed. I hope it recorded fine. I don't know if it did. I wasn't paying too much attention to the technological side across the room there. If you did drop in briefly, though I don't think I had any live listeners, go say hi if you can. I'm going to stay online for just a minute or two. And if you catch this later, because you're curious about what I do, it's just a couple of songs. So if you feel like just dropping just a couple of bucks, that's greatly appreciated, and you can see how that's done right above me here. I do appreciate all your support and all my friends who have supported me over the years, and what can I say? I believe in all of you, and I want to support all of you, and I hope we all support each other. So you know what I'm saying. Up there, down here. God bless you. Be well. Have a nice day, everybody. Well, Debbie, since you're still here and you like my music, I'll do one more tune for you. You're my listener today. I did this on such short notice. I didn't promote it at all or anything, so it's just lucky that you dropped in. And if you feel like listening to one more song, I'll do one more song for you. And I'm glad you like my music. That always pleases me greatly. This is a fairly recent song. It's all about getting along with people who live in the same neighborhood as you do, even though sometimes that might not work out as well as you want it to. And this is called Water Everywhere. Our old Italian neighborhood has turned Chinese maybe for good. Water, water everywhere. The ghetto has been gentrified. The first folks have been pushed aside. Doesn't matter if it's fair. It's the same thing everywhere. The Indians who once lived here, they made their trade in hunting deer. Water, water everywhere. They made a bargain with the Dutch that really didn't leave them much, but the Dutchmen didn't care. It's the same thing everywhere. The hippies have all moved upstate. The hipsters came to take their place. Maybe the only difference is the hair. And the little shops you could afford to shop in once, they now are boarded. But the building owners, they don't care. It's the same thing everywhere. Well, the water just goes where it will. You know it always flows downhill. Rivers running everywhere. Who are you and I to kid? It just does what it always did. Just goes where it's meant to be, flowing till it finds the sea. Water, water everywhere. Now the music clubs have all shut down. New York is a rich man's town. Doesn't matter if it's fair. And the only music that remains is while you're waiting for the trains. You can tip them if you care. So much free music everywhere. Well, the money just goes where it must. It's all about the boom or bust. Buddy, have you got a dime to spare? And who are you and I to kid? It settles for the lowest bid. The bottom line is where it goes. That's just the way the money flows. Money, money everywhere. Now in my new Chinese neighborhood, the people that I meet are good. It's the same thing everywhere. No matter where they come from, friend, they're only people in the end. It's not their fault they had to settle there. People, people everywhere. People trying just to be everywhere like you and me. Like water flowing to the sea, going where we're meant to be. Water, 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 water everywhere. And once again, this is a very impromptu session. I guess I'm fishing for people that might just pick it up on the fly as it goes by. I didn't plan for it or promote it in any way. So I welcome anyone who's here saying hi. Debbie, I hope you're still running. That song was dedicated to you because you expressed interest in my music. And I will say hello to Joe My darling wife is out getting a COVID test so she can go to a fitting and maybe get a, she's just, God, she's a tireless engine that keeps our little family alive. And, that makes me really happy. I try to keep my family alive, too, and, you can help with that. Doesn't take much. You can also go to my Bandcamp site, Bertlee, Bertlee, one word, /bandcamp.com. Listen to my songs and, download a stream or an MP3, and whatever you pay is welcome. It's pretty open. The nice thing about Bandcamp, in case you don't know, is that those of us that work in Bandcamp actually get most of the money. And on a Friday, we get all of the money, so that's pretty nice. I'm just going to check my sound levels one more time here, and I'll come back, and maybe if somebody's still out there listening, I'll drop another tune into the mix. If you know my music, think about what you'd like to hear and make a request, and if I still do that song, I'd be happy to render it up in some way. Okay, I'll be right back, just checking levels again. Oh, nice. So you've known Josie for quite some time. Yeah, you know what a dynamo, what a lucky guy I am to have that on my side. And I do hope we can meet someday. If you're around here, Gravesend, Brooklyn, we camp here in this slightly funky apartment, but we're grateful to have it. And, life is good. It's all, no matter what people think, it's all good. Here's a classic cowboy song for you. This goes back to the Sons of the Pioneers. I think Bob Nolan wrote this song. Each day I face the barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Old Dan and I, with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water, cool, clear water. Oh, keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil of a man, and he paints the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the river's running free? It's waiting there for you and me. Oh, the night is cool and I'm a fool. Each star's a pool of water, cool water. With the dawn I'll wake and yawn and carry on the water, cool, clear water. I'll keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil of a man, he paints the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the river's running free and it's waiting there for you and me? Now the shadows sway and seem to say, tonight we'll pray for water, cool water. And way up there he'll hear our prayer and show us where there's water, cool, clear water. Oh, keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil of a man, he paints the burning sand with water, you see that big green tree where the river's running free and it's waiting there for you and me? Each day I face the barren waste without the taste of water. Cool, clear water. Yeah, Sons of the Pioneers song for you there. And once again, making adjustments. I'm setting this all up for some more live streams later on this week, because I'll be doing these and promoting them instead of this one, which is just on the fly, which is why I'm jumping between the mic and the console, which is over there. And if you have patience, I'll be right back while I check levels and see that everything's going fine. And once again, Debbie, so nice to have you drop in and visit. And like I say, I look forward to us actually getting together in what we laughingly call the real world. While I'm doing covers, I'm going to do a Nilsson song from Nilsson's first album, which is a wonderful album if you've never heard it. He had a couple of hits from later albums, but he was a little undiscovered for a while, and then tragically died kind of young. But his early songs are kind of like the Bee Gees' early songs on their first album. Tended toward the Beatle-esque and tended toward the slightly surreal and the fanciful songs about you weren't sure what, but they sounded kind of interesting and cool. I always loved this song. She sang hymns out of tune, carried a yellow balloon, traded her love for a Spanish doubloon, and talked to the people who are. She lived in a sorcerer's room, she pounded the table and brandished her broom. She turned 10,000 when she touched the moon, and talked to the people who are. Now I have a clock on my wall, keeps time and that isn't all. Tells me how long she's been gone to the people who are. She lived in a sorcerer's room, she pounded the table and brandished her broom. She turned 10,000 when she touched the moon, and talked to the people who are. She sang hymns out of tune, she sang hymns out of tune, she sang hymns out of tune. And I believe that's going to do it for me. I've practiced enough today. This was a freebie floating by. I'll be doing some better promoted and more contiguous and continuous live streams later in the week. I haven't been doing a lot of them in recent months. I feel like doing them now. So, if you pick up on this after I shut it down, you can always hear it later on here at my YouTube channel. If you like it, like and subscribe. You know the game. If you feel like tipping me, that's the information you need up there. It's not required, but it sure is nice to get a buck or two every time I put in some time playing some music. God bless you all. Be well, be safe. Don't let the crazy times drive you crazy. Love the one you're with. Love yourself. And love the human race in general. It's not all their fault. We're nutty. And bye-bye, folks.